Yo, Brolly, welcome back. So in today's video, I just want to share something with you that might help you if you're interested to do some live streaming, podcasting, or any content creation that involves audio recording. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to audio equipment, so this is actually a good test for the product that we have here since this product is supposed to be user-friendly. I'm talking about the Maono AU-AM100 podcast console. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright guys, so as usual, let's start with a quick unboxing experience. So right here we have the packaging for the Maono AU-AM100 podcast console. So as you can see, we have an image preview and then we have some branding around the box. At the back of the box, we have a diagram of the input and output ports at the back as well as in front. So let's see what comes in the package. There you go. So the packaging is actually pretty good. And then upon opening the box, we have the user manual right here. And then we have some template for the effects. And then we have a special letter from the CEO of Maono, Alex Liu. So in this box, we also have some foam protection. And then we have the rest of the package contents. We have our cables here on the right side. And then the Maono AU-AM100 podcast console right here. So in terms of the cables, we have a TRS to TRS cable right here. And then we have a TRRS to TRRS cable right here. And lastly, we have a USB Type-C to Type-A cable. So let's take a look at the Maono caster. I'll talk about the rest of the functionalities and features and knobs and buttons here at the top side later, but let's move around here at the back side for the input and output ports. So right here we have our two XLR input, mic 1 and mic 2A. And the mic 2A input actually has another 3.5mm option via the mic 2B input right here. And then we have a denoise switch on and off. And then we have our another input, aux input and phone input via a 3.5mm port. And we also have our podcast 1 output and podcast 2 output, as well as a monitor speaker port right here. We also have our USB Type-C for connecting this to your host device like your laptop and PC. And then we also have our loopback switch here. And lastly, our power button that is illuminated once turned on. So yeah, in terms of build quality, it's actually pretty decent. We have some substantial rubber feet at the bottom to keep this thing stay in place. And then in front, we have a couple of 3.5mm ports for monitoring your audio via your headphone or favorite IEMs. So that's about it. Again, build quality is pretty decent. Alright, so let's move forward to the actual test or demo. Let me just show you the overhead setup right here. So right here, we have the Maono Caster AU-AM100 podcast console. And I already have two microphones connected here on our XLR input. So the first one is the Saramonic Soundbird shotgun microphone on the overhead setup. And then the second one is the Samsung Q2U dynamic microphone. So let's go over the settings or the setup here and the different controls and features of this podcast console. So first, we have our input gain knob right here. We have four. Two for our XLR and one for phone and aux inputs. So we also have 48 volts phantom power for the XLR inputs, as well as dedicated mute button for both of them. We also have the volume controls for the said mic 1 and mic 2 XLR inputs. And we also have our monitor volume for monitoring our audio. We have a pitch effect, changing the pitch of your voice, as well as the overall effect here on the upper right side of the console. We also have different predefined effect that we're going to test later: female, male, music only, baby, robot, and sidechain. And of course, we also have some different sound effects here. And finally, we have our master volume knob right here for the for everything that we have here. All right, so let's start with the testing. So currently, you're listening to the Saramonic Soundbird V1, which is on our mic 1 input with 48 volts phantom power. Of course, I can mute that. And then we also have our volume adjustment right here. Let me just try to change that here. There you go. And you can also monitor your gain here on the upper right side of the console, as well as on your software. In my case, I'm using the Streamlabs OBS to monitor my audio as well. And then I can quickly change to my second input. There you go. So right now you're listening to the um, Samsung Q2U, a dynamic microphone. So as you can see, you can take advantage of up to 4 input with this one. So you can do podcasts, live streams, and what have you. And the good thing here is that this one is in some ways portable because it is powered via battery, and you can also take advantage of the USB Type C connection here at the back. Now let me just go back to our main microphone. There you go. So right now you're listening to the shotgun microphone up top. And then let's go over the other options that we have here. Of course, we have our volume again for monitoring your headphone, as well as the pitch. Let me go back to my dynamic microphone just to give you guys a better idea. There you go. So let me just change my pitch here.
Mic test, mic test. So this one is a little bit creepy, but yeah, So going up.
Going up.
Going up. So right now we're kind of sounds like a chipmunk. Mic test, mic test. All right. There you
Go. Now for the effect knob right here, it will affect the options here on the upper right side or upper right corner of the console. So currently we're on the studio mode. So let me just change that to KTV. There you go. And then change the effect value or the amount of the effect that's going to your mix. There you go. And then next, church, mic test, mic test. So this will simulate the cathedral effect right there. And then we have hall. So basically, it will add some reverb to your audio. There you go. And then we also have valley, mic test, mic test, mic test. And then lastly, we have room. There you go. So this one is a little bit drier compared to the rest, except for the studio, which in my opinion should be the one if you're going to do the regular podcast, live streaming, and all that. Now, aside from that, we also have our different predefined effects here. Female.
mic test. Sorry. Mic test, mic test. Hello. Hey, honey. And then baby. Mic test, mic test. I don't think sorry.
I don't think any baby should sound that, but there you have it. And then male.
Mic test, mic test. There you go. And then robot. So the robot is a little bit lower compared to the male.
And then we also have music only and side chain. I think the side chain allows you to play back some track while also being able to have your voice more audible. Now we also have a little bit of some of the presets here that you can use or sound effects that you can use for live streaming. So the first one,
A few moments later.
second one, oh my god, the third one,
Okay.
all right, the fourth one, the fifth one. So these three are actually open, or you can actually customize this using the software if you're into that. So these are blanks that you can add your own custom sound effects. And then this one is is a beep if you want to say something that you don't want your viewers to hear, like. So there you go. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going back to my overhead microphone. Oh, before I forgot, I almost forgot about the Electron part of the options right here. So let's go over through that. There you go. So basically, it will add more reverb or audio effects to your audio. There you go. In different, how do you call this? Different notes. So A, B, and different options right here. So I'm not sure exactly where you will use this, but you have this as an option here on this podcast console. There you go. So again, you have 4 inputs, and you have dedicated gain knobs for all of those inputs, Two of those have 48 volts phantom power via the two XLR input here at the back. We also have dedicated mute button, volume for the microphones, monitor, pitch, effect, and your master volume. So pretty straightforward. And yeah, really, if you're going to consider this, it is really user friendly. Like I said earlier, I'm not an expert when it comes to audio equipment, but I was still able to set this up real quick, maybe less than 30 minutes. I was able to figure out how to use this entire product, entire system, and I believe anyone can also take advantage of this if you want, again, do some quick podcasting, live streaming, and even audio recording for this. For example, this setup, I can also use this for regular voiceovers and what have you. So overall, I think the Maono Caster AU-AM100 is a pretty decent option if you are into the budget category when it comes to this type of audio equipment. So again, this is just a quick test and demonstration, definitely not a full review, but I hope you get a thing or two when it comes to the bare essentials or basic features of the Maono Caster AU-AM100. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Huge thanks to Maono for sending this in. I'm still going to play around with this and decide if I'm going to use this as my main audio interface for my live streaming setup, but this is definitely an interesting product. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this. You can check the links below if you're interested to grab one of this. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys. You're awesome. Have a great day.